Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting show on the Just Baseball Network. It is Monday, June 19th, and I'm here to deliver some MLB winners. Welcome back. It's been a couple of days. I was in Atlantic City, actually. Incredible story about getting back to even on the tables. I had $500. I went in, was down to 25 and made it all the way back. Not enough people are talking about the story of getting back to even. That kind of translates to today, because I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been eating spoonfuls of cake, just cutting off a piece of cake and just feeding it in my fat mouth. Luckily, we have a great system play today that has been cashing for us all year. And if I continue my slide, which I don't think I will, but if I continue my slide, great thing is we have a bunch of awesome MLB cappers coming on to give their picks. We're going to have a great day today. I can smell it. If you can smell it in the air, I can. I'm very excited. We got producer Cohen, of course, also here. Clam Mucker 3000. Thank you for sub banging. Also, just so we're clear too, right? We're setting up a tier system for subscribers because, as we know, this is a competition. This show is a competition. Obviously, it's just to give you, all the picks under the sun that are possible, but it's for a reason. Producer Cohen, if you could flash the leaderboard. So all of the picks are tracked on the Pikkit Sports app. Remember to download and use code Peter when you sync your sports book. But they're all tracked. So at the end of the season, whoever has tallied the most amount of units will end up winning the competition. And that competition will get the winner World Series tickets. Whoever finishes second gets a $500 cash prize. Wags the Baggett, thank you for subbing. But remember, so the tier system is basically the sooner you sub, the more entries you will get in to win the prize at the end. So the people who subbed in April will get more. So make sure to get your subs in now if you want to be entered into the competition. If you don't really care and you're just here to have some fun, no worries at all. We are glad to have you. Remember, all prize picks entries, I'm pointing to the right graphic, will be on prize picks, code just baseball. You guys know the drill, that 100% deposit match. And then, of course, the same thing on BetMGM. I think we're ready to start, ladies and gentlemen. I got a prize picks entry. I got a pick. We got to see one go through. And then, of course, all the great and wonderful, talented people. Let's get after it. This is a competition. Didn't know. I'll try now. Yeah, thanks a lot, Ben. Thanks a lot. But Ben has been killing it low-key, and he's going to be coming on today, and I'm excited to hear his picks. But how about mine first? Because I'm not a bag of bones, ladies and gentlemen. I am not a bag of bones. You know what? I was thinking? It is good that we've been on such incredible heaters so far this season that even losing, I think, like 9 units in the past week, still up top the leaderboard. Now that could change because we got a lot of talented people on my side. So without further ado, let's go to Minnesota. We're taking the Twins on the ML. The pitching matchup is James Paxton versus Pablo Lopez. It doesn't happen every Monday, but when it does, we pounce. It's an incredibly profitable system, and it's based on fatigue. We love it even more when the home team doesn't have to travel. Bats tend to be slow for the entire game, as many teams are traveling in late and aren't settled in time. If you faded the team coming off Sunday Night Baseball on Monday this season, you'd be 5-1. We're 5-1. Remember the last time we did this? How about them Oakland A's? I should have just been tailing them for the rest of the couple of months because that kind of started the heater. Did we start the heater? Did Sunday Night Baseball system start the A's heater? People are saying that. I'm not people, but people are saying that. Let's see if there are any major red flags because we basically tailed the system without failure because it could lose, right? The system's not going to go 100% all season, but you play it every time and you will be profitable at the end of the season, or at least that system has proven so. For one, here's a red flag-ish. James Paxton has been very good, right? This is not some no-name guy. He's pitched to a 3.09 ERA, 3.34 expected ERA, a 3.13 Sierra, putting him in the upper quarter of starters in Major League Baseball this season. Only a few Twins batters have faced Paxton in the past, but I like it because the big bats, Correa, Buxton hitting third and fourth in the lineup, are a combined 14 for 32. That's a 4.35 average with 4 doubles. Here's a moderate, again, red flag, but it gets better. Hear me out. Over the entire season, the Twins have been dog water against lefties. Let's not put it past. They ranked 28th in baseball in WRC+, WOBA, and OPS. The Red Sox have been the 10th best offense in baseball against right-handed pitching. But over the full season, the Red Sox have the edge here. But as we know, the Red Sox were smoldering hot in April and have cooled down, while the Twins' offense against lefties has been slowly creeping up. It's much closer since May began. Red Sox have a 102 WRC plus compared to the Twins at 92. If we just shorten the sample to the last 30 days, which I like to look at the most, Red Sox are at 92, Twins are at 86. We see them getting closer together. The edge is marginal, but the Red Sox are taking that 3-hour flight late at night after a doubleheader. So Pablo Lopez is going to oppose James Paxton, who is due for major positive regression. He's rocking a 4.27 ERA, but every ERA estimator has him much lower. Pablo Lopez, by Sierra and xERA, those are my two favorite ERA estimators, right? We have FIP, xFIP. I like Sierra and I like expected ERA because it takes into account what types of balls in play you're getting. Sierra, 3.39, expected ERA, 3.17. Again, very low. The ERAs might not show it, but Lopez is as good, if not better, than James Paxton. The issue for Lopez has been pitching at home, where he's rocking a 5.88 ERA. However, ERA estimators, which are better indicators of how he's actually pitched, chalking it up to some bad luck. He's put up a 3.23 FIP at home, 3.62 xFIP at home versus a 3.90 FIP and 3.44 xFIP on the road. It's very similar, right? It's just been some bad luck at home. The home ERA will come down today, and today is a great spot to do it. Now, the Red Sox did just beat my lowly Yankees in a doubleheader on Sunday. Yankees suck. We know that. You don't have to tell me. I already know that. Not only making their fatigue greater going into this game, but it's assumed that it would drive up the price. Everyone saw them win, and many bettors out there will bet them again to win, especially as a dog. And I don't know, Producer Cohen, if you have this pulled up, the bullpen stuff, but I can basically just read it out to you. So both teams are probably going to have their best relievers come into this game. It's on RotoWire, right? So you can look at RotoWire. I always try and give you guys all the tools because if I'm on a cold tree like today, make your own picks, and you can use a lot of the same information that I look at. So on RotoWire, you can go to bullpen usage, and we can see that Chris Martin, Kenley Jansen, and Josh Winkowski have all been very good, and they're all going to be available today. But they're not quite as strong as the Twins, right? So for Pablo and James, let's say they both go 6. The Twins have the home field advantage, and they have the 3 better arms. Yohan Duran has been better than Kenley by xERA. Griffin Jax been better than Chris Martin by xERA. Same thing. Brock Stewart's been better than Josh Winkowski. Every single edge they have in the bullpen, and they also have home field advantage. But overall, let's look at the advantages, right? Starting pitching advantage. What do you guys think after I read those out? Yeah, so we can see these, right? So this is a great way to go to RotoWire, see which bullpen arms have been used the most, right? Griffin Jax, Brock Stewart, Yohan Duran, completely available. And the thing is, like, Kenley Jansen, Chris Martin, and Winkowski are available, but all through over 10 pitches. So again, travel, and they're not fully rested. While we look at the Twins guys, none of them threw on Sunday. So we're going to get full-powered, the best the Twins can offer. Let's look at these advantages. Starting pitching advantage, I just think Pablo Lopez is better. I think it's very close. Slightly in Pablo, but I can see that being average. Overall offense advantage lean towards the Red Sox when we look at the full season numbers, but we know that the Red Sox bats are going to be slow. One team's got to travel, one team doesn't. Twins have the better bullpen advantage and home field advantage. I think that wins out here, right? They should be favorites. Take us home. I'm going with the Twins money line. And we've seen the line jump. We've seen the line jump to minus 145. Let me just check BetMGM again. Minus 145 still, which is good, right? We got good line movement on our side. We put this in last night. I'm rocking with the Twins here. What I would do is up to minus 145. Obviously, I think they win, right? Minus 145 is a little bit steep. You guys know I rarely will ever give you anything beyond minus 130. It's kind of my cutoff point at this point. I would just stick with 1.25 units to win whatever that is. What would it be? Let's just do some quick maths here. If I were to go minus 145, you'd win, what is that? I don't know, like 0.81 units? What would that be? I think that's what it is. This shit pre-recorded ASF. No, I'm listening. What's going on? I'm not pre-recording. Krabs is an ugly ginger. So you're just an angry guy. I mean, this guy's just an angry guy. Imagine making your Twitch like just a chirp. Like we gotta have a life here, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta have a life. We gotta have a life outside just following betting content, right? We gotta have a life. We gotta do better. We gotta do better. 0.85 units. Yeah. If you're coming in new and you didn't check out my article or anything before, that's what I would stick to. I wouldn't just lay more juice because, right, you want to kind of stay like if I lose, you want to lose the same as me. You don't want to lose more, right? Bro really made a burner. What's up, everybody? Good to see everybody. I'm in good spirits. Jake's picks, shit better. Let's get into the prize picks entry, producer Cohen. I like how we put Vladdy Jr. there. Vladdy Jr. over a run. I'm mowing my lawn right now, Peter. It's not betting 24/7. Yeah, you got to have a life. You got to have a life. All right. Krabs is, I mean, this guy, how do we kick him to the moon? He's being not a good guy. We're all here to help each other win money. That's all we're here to do. I've never understood it. Okay. Vladdy Jr. over half a run. So what I saw on Prize Picks this morning, I was kind of going through all of the, different squares like I normally do. And first, I just like to survey the board and look up anything weird, right? What's weird on there? What's a square that is completely red, right? I'm sure you guys all do it because you got a contrarian mindset and you've been betting and you've been around the block before. The books are not our friends, right? They're being our friends by giving us a deposit match if you want to use code JustBaseball if you're new, but they're not your friends where they want us to win. And by putting up squares where the entire thing is red, it is going to make people think, like you hear pitches all the time, right? He's hit this in his last 10 times. He's hit this in his last 5 times. It's a very easy way to bet. It doesn't often go well for people. So what we do is we like to fade it. Very similar to the, remember when we faded Chris Bassett tacos? Weirdly, they took strikeouts off the board. He did end up exactly on 5, but the fantasy score was free. This is a very similar one. Vladdy hasn't scored in 6 games. Why is he up there now? Right? It's not like this is a common square. But again, it's not just, oh, he hasn't hit it before. Let's just randomly take it. Then what I'll do is I'll look into the matchup. And Vladdy loves fastballs and he loves sinkers. Look at all these freaking ding-dongs. Look what he does against these type of pitches, right? What does Brian Hoeing do? Fastball, sinker, slider. It's his 3-pitch mix. I think he's got a changeup in there. Vladdy hasn't hit the ball in the air since Pablo Lopez came out of the womb. Look at that, though. Oh, watching Vladdy highlights is sick. I might just stop the stream so we can just watch these. Oh, watch this one. What is he going to throw here? Oh, damn. What if he does that to Brian Hoeing? Would be sick. But basically, there's a fastball that he just absolutely destroyed by Kodai Senga. But basically what we know is that he has a good matchup against Brian Hoeing. I think his over total bases is fine. But the fact that he hasn't hit a run prop in what seems like a year, I'm going to take his over half a run, and I'm going to pair with Pablo Lopez because I do think the Red Sox bats are going to be slow. I do think the Red Sox bats are absolutely going to be slow. And just some more gambling stuff, right? You go on books. What's Pablo Lopez's pitching outs? It's minus 200 towards the over. I mean, what is that? Should pitch long. I mean, it makes sense. Should pitch long, should be near his Ks, should get the quality start. And then all we need is to win. And I think the Twins are going to win anyway. So it'll be a fun day today. Livy Dunn is going to be there tonight too. It's huge for Pablo Lopez's fantasy score somehow. I don't know how, but I agree with you. I think that's huge for it. 10 minutes ago. Yeah. I'm looking at this. This Red Sox lineup does not scare me. Who's not playing for the Red Sox today? I think this is their A lineup. I think. It just doesn't scare me. Oh, no, she will be at the LSU game. All right. So those are the Prize Picks entries. 0.2 units. Nothing crazy. You guys know I don't go crazy on the Prize Picks. 0.2 units. We're rolling. What's the score in that Nats? 5-0 Nats. Nice job, Flaherty. Not ideal. Can't believe Pablo Lopez just hung a sweeper to Rafi, man. We hope not. We need a good day out of Pablo Lopez, all right? Okay, it's time to get into the model. Remember, this is math, right? We're going over all the math picks of the day. So we got park factors, game simulations, and a matchup machine in order to give us math. All right? Let's get into it. So this is the first game. And remember, we show games that almost everybody on stream is going to be on, right? We're not just going to show you random games. Of course, you can go to ballparkpal.com and look it up and look for yourself if you want, any insight on any other games. But this one, you can tell the model thinks that there's a little bit of value on the Marlins. Blue Jays got to travel, right? They were just playing in Texas, traveling to Miami. Not ideal travel situations for them. But it's also such a golden matchup for them. It's hard for me really to cap this game. I think it's entirely possible that the Blue Jays bats come out a little bit slow. I just don't think so. Because the Marlins bullpen, right? If we go to RotoWire and we look at kind of who's been in the pen lately for the Marlins and who they've been using, it's not a rested pen. Little bit of value on the over, not really. They think it should be around minus 117 towards the implied over. Yeah, we got Krabs and Ugly Ginger. We banned him. Get out. It took us a little too long, but we're good. Peter, why do they have to hang Brios or run prop? You're telling me, Macy. You're telling me. I do not know. It's living rent-free in my head. I understand it. I totally understand where you're coming from. Smell you, kid. I love it, producer Gone. This one, so we got a Jake Hazen versus Aram Layton kind of battle here on the first 5. And I think it's at 4.5. So I want to let people know that through the first 5, it would be a slight lean towards the over. It's not much, but a slight lean there is how they're playing it. So consider that. Up to you guys. But that's at least what they're rolling with. All right. Let's get into the second game. So this one, another one that, a lot of people are going to be crushing this over. And it makes a lot of sense, right? Sources are saying producer Cone is on the Mets under again. I might have to ladder the over. Producer Cone, do you want to hop in screen and let people know what you think about the Mets-Astros game today?
It's not the Mets. No, it's not.
It's never the Mets. Absolutely never the Mets. What were your thoughts on the total? Do you have any idea? What's the total of that game? We're looking at 7.5.
Last time I took the over 7.5. Last time I took under 7.5. What was it? 27 runs.
No, it ended 13-10. Not an ideal score for an under.
Yeah, we don't touch those games anymore. Yeah. We don't bet permanently anymore. Actually, it's all good.
He went 0-1 and retired. Hey, sometimes you go 0-1 and retire. So this game I found was fascinating because, of course, the Reds opened up around minus 140 and it moved all the way to minus 165. It does feel a little bit sketchy here, people. I'm not saying that the Reds lose this game. I'm not. But if you put a gun to my head and said, who are you betting on? I think I would weirdly tail Austin Gomber and the Rockies. I know it sounds weird. But this is a weird line. I know it's Brandon Williamson, so maybe it's not that weird. You got Gomber on the road, and the Rockies have been so ass against lefties. But, man, this game feels weird to me. Does it not feel weird to any of you guys? I'm staying away from that game. I agree, right? The total's been getting steamed up. The Reds' money line, it's like the most obvious plays in this game have been just getting steamed up, which could mean that it just hits. It just hits, right? I know some people are going to be on the total in this game. I think someone's on one side of the Reds versus Rockies, so we'll see their pitch. If it influences you, obviously go ahead. It's a really tough game for me to cap because it seems so obvious that the Reds and the over should hit. But does it? Reds first 5 team total minus 170, too much. So it really has been steamed up, right? It's been steamed up 30 cents. Any weather report from Cincy? So as you can see, Great American Ballpark, if you look at the bottom of the screen here, see how it says runs plus 14%? It's by far the best run scoring environment of the day. So when you go to Ballpark Pal and you go to Park Factors, Great American Ballpark at plus 14%. Next best was Nationals Park today, which is at 9%. And the Nationals already have 5 runs. Also, the Cardinals fans, I'm feeling for you. This is downright horrible. This is downright horrible for the people. All right, let's keep it going. Ooh, Cardinals just scored. Little Tommy Edman triple. I love seeing that. Which stinks today too, because I was leaning the first 5 over in this game. Should have played it. All right, let's keep going. So this game, as you can tell, the model doesn't like it. Model doesn't like it. But we've come on here before, and I've showed you that the model doesn't like the travel trend. So for this, it doesn't account for fatigue. I could understand the Red Sox being a slight favorite if it was just a even playing field. Second game of the series, if we just look on paper how these two teams face off, right? I talked about how the Twins have not been very good against lefties over the full season, but they've been a little bit better. Red Sox have been good against righties this season, but again, they're getting worse. I could see what they're going for. I don't think it ends up hitting today. And I also kind of like the under in this game, obviously, when I broke it down, because we got a lot of good arms going today. It's at 8 at minus 110. I think that's fine value. I think that's a good pivot if you don't want to take the Twins anymore, right? If they got up to minus 145, I think a good pivot is taking the under 8 runs. I really do think so. Again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But with the way I broke it down, it's definitely one of those write-ups where I would definitely lean towards the under. And the model likes it too a little bit, right? It would have it around 8, so the model's not showing that much value. But again, the model can't account for the travel. So, all right, let's go on to the next game. So I don't know if you guys saw the tweet that I retweeted. I thought it was hilarious. Let me find it. Let me find it for you guys. So we got Boston accent versus traditional pronunciation. Michael Waka versus Ryan Walker. I thought that was really funny. Maybe I'm by myself. I thought it was hilarious. Michael Waka versus Walker. All right, whatever. Model likes the Padres, right? I think might be the time to buy in on these Padres. Because the Giants are coming off that historic win streak, but not historic, just like the way they've been crushing baseballs lately and beating the hell out of the Dodgers. I don't know. The Giants almost feel like an anomaly at this point, right? We didn't take the Dodgers yesterday, even though they fit that system of the 12 plus runs and they were the favorite, and they lost again. And I had a feeling that they were going to lose that game. Like sometimes we blindly take a system, other times like nothing points to it, and that was an example. Ended up not taking it, and the Giants beat the hell out of them again, right? They beat the living crap out of them again. So this is a game where I almost feel like you're catching the falling knife here, which is something I don't particularly like to do. So up to you guys. I will definitely not be on the Padres today, but with that said, we're going to hear some good pitches today about the Padres, so keep it in the back of your mind. I think it's time for some home runs. So we've been pretty good on these home runs. I don't know if you guys have noticed. But the thing is, when I was looking at the list today, not a lot of guys who are weird. Ezekiel Tovar could be considered weird. Ezekiel Tovar could definitely be considered weird, right? You got Brandon Williamson versus Ezekiel Tovar. Oh, no, he just got put on the paternity list. He just got put on the paternity list. Let me make sure of that. Pretty sure I saw that. Yeah, correct. Yeah, so there's nobody here that's weird outside of Yainer Diaz. Yeah, fat girls. Yep, fat girls. I just saying that regularly. Like, yes, fat girls. Yes, like, dude. Yainer Diaz against Max Scherzer is definitely interesting. Carlos Correa potentially could go yard off James Paxton. Don't mind that one bit. Something to consider. Let's go up to the top. Who we got here? So many Rockies. Yeah, Montero. Huh. Anyone sticking out? You might say Paul DeYoung is a little bit weird, but he's kind of up here a decent amount. Yeah, I mean, Lars Nootbaar being up there, you never really see him up there. But a lot of Rockies. I don't think it's crazy to say to take a Rockies team total over, right? I don't think it's crazy to see a Rockies team total over. Model is saying if I put a unit on everyone in the lineup for the Rockies, I'm going to be Bezos tonight. That's what it's saying. Alfaro is the weirdest. Yeah, Jorge Alfaro just signed with the Rockies, and now he's up here against Brandon Williamson. Is Alfaro in the lineup? Let's see. Let's take a look. Is Alfaro in the lineup? Rockies. Alfaro's hitting 5th, and he's 0 for 11 to start the year. No way he goes yard. Right, Producer Cohen? No way he goes yard. Maybe. I don't know what the odds are. Yeah, Grichuk's not here, which is interesting, right? They're not just throwing you random guys. He is in. Oh, he's in now? Makes sense. Think about it. Think about Alfaro. But we got people in queue. We got people in queue. We got mid-major. We got lid-lager. Lid-lager, how are we? It's good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, you still look handsome, Peter. So congratulations.
Thank you, my friend. I'm trying my best.
Absolutely. You don't have to try very hard. So, well done. How's the travel life? You were in Cabo apparently Thursday and Friday. You couldn't afford to bring us on this stream. You were scared, I heard.
I was scared. Well, I was
What's
in Atlantic City. City, which was great. Not technically Cabo. First time, never been to Atlantic City. Got to the blackjack tables. Did you hear about my getting even story? It was unbelievable.
No, the last story I heard is that you're on an 8-game losing streak, betting wise. So that's that's the last news I know of you.
No, thank you very much. Yes. So I went to the tables with 500. Went to the tables with 500. Down to $25. You've never seen someone lose in blackjack so quickly than me. It was like clockwork. It was win 1, lose 4, win 1, lose 4. I've never seen a dealer get 21 so many times in a row.
Knowing the way you would bet, it was just one unit, right? $25 a hand. You weren't pressing. You weren't all over the place, were you?
What was I doing? It was I do the kind of the blackjack thing where it was like $25 hands, and then I win you up to 35, then 45. Do like that. So I'm just donating. Not double downs, but then I'm starting to push more chips in. Sure. And then I get all the way back up to 500. I actually got to 580, push 80 in, lose it. I'm like, I'm out.
Okay. So you had all those free drinks for no cost whatsoever, just free entertainment, as you say.
Couple of Heinekens. Enjoyed myself.
You enjoyed yourself for a couple Heinekens? I never said that sentence, but as long as you enjoyed it, I'm happy for you, brother.
I enjoyed it. Let's get into your picks, and let's enjoy some winners.
Sure. So I have 2 units risk on the Marlins total team under 3.5. I am essentially selling the Marlins offense at its peak. 13 of the last 16 games, they've scored over 4 runs. Looking into those games, they've played the Royals, the A's, the Nationals, and the White Sox. And the games that they didn't score over 13 runs or 4 runs was against Dylan Cease, and then the 2 games against the Mariners of the 3. But looking into the White Sox series, they didn't score more than those runs until the 8th and 9th innings. So it's the White Sox bullpen. Doesn't do anything for me. And, scoring against the A's, Royals, and the Nats doesn't do anything for me either. Looking back at this Nats series, they actually scored. They left 27 guys on base in their 3-game series. So they're getting on, but the Ducks are staying on the pond. They're not bringing them in. And against Jose Barrios, who right now is probably the best Jays pitcher, as much as nobody wants to admit that because he doesn't strike guys out. He's not sexy. He was awful last year on the road and all that assumption of him being awful.
Better. Gosman's
better. He's a better pitcher, but who's performing better? Look at the most recent. To the performance, I should say. He's the best performing pitcher. Yeah. So, but nobody wants to admit that because he's not Kevin Gausman, and he's not a sexy strikeout guy. But when he has his slurve working, which he has lately, I think it's untouchable. And as much as his ground ball rate hits and that defense behind him, I just don't think that the Marlins score 4 today. As Berrios' biggest issue is that he struggled against lefties. He's not bad, but that's his biggest issue. And the Marlins only have 3 lefties in the lineup today. Jesus Sanchez, I'm not worried about. Joey Wendell, if he gets a single or double, I'm not worried about. Arias is going to get his 2 out of 5 hits, of course. But outside of that, the lineup does not scare me. De La Cruz has regressed. Cooper looks like a shell of himself last year. So Lair has looked, I mean, he's come back down to earth after that 3-week stretch. And who's trying to take a team?
That's the only thing I disagree with. Soler in June as a 180 WRC plus.
Well, I mean, he's not hitting a home run every game, so it's not as sexy as he was, I should say. But I don't know who's trying to take a total team under against a team that just allowed 11 runs after being up 6-0 in the Jays. You know, the Jays, Berrios, the best performing pitcher today. They did not use Swanson or Romano yesterday. And I think the Jays, it's a masterclass in pitching tonight. I really do.
Hey, I like this play.
It takes nuts to like it. I agree.
I'm just surprised. The only reason I'm just surprised you have 2 units on it, I guess. But Arm's going to come on and he's got to play kind of fading his Marlins a little bit. And he's, one of the best Marlins minds out there. So he's aligned with you, which is a good thing.
Okay, well, I'm glad. Well, he's doing better than me in the competition, so I like to hear that.
All right, let's move on to play number 2.
So it's, everyone in the world is on the Twins today, and obviously everyone knows the reasons. But also, I do think Pablo Lopez pitches well. I do think the Red Sox bats start out slow, with the travel coming off a back-to-back doubleheader yesterday. But also, the Twins, they look fucking awful at the plate, Peter. They're just – I watched the entire series against the Tigers. I don't know why. Their at-bats are just non-competitive. Yeah. And against James Paxton, who's just going to strike out the side 3 times a day in the first 3 innings, I just don't see how they combine for 5 runs. I really don't. And if the Twins are up 5-0, I mean, by all means, I'll eat it. But with Pablo Lopez, I don't expect him to give up more than 1 or 2 max. Same thing with Paxton. So I don't see how they get to 5.
First off, love the play. Second off, I was just looking because I was like, really, is everyone in the world on the Twins? Right now on VSiN, you got 49% of bets on the Twins, 59% of the money.
Okay.
So bets are split, a little bit more money. When we look at Pikkit, it's a little bit more heavy on Pikkit.
Okay.
A little bit smaller of a sample. Who have you seen, I guess, that's everyone's hammering the Twins?
So when I say everyone in the world, obviously it's
no, I know you're joking. I'm just curious if you've seen like other idiots on the Twins or anything like that.
I wouldn't call them idiots. I don't want to call anybody idiots, but there are people who just purely use the fade Sunday night baseball trend, and they're all on the Twins today. Every single one of them, purely because of that factor. Obviously, you're on it because of other factors, and you like the pitching matchup, and you like the a lot more baseball brand. But for the pure fact of fading the Red Sox on travel off of a doubleheader on Sunday night, that's the one reason I see all over Twitter, at least. Obviously, I'm sure you know how VSiN works. It's only the percentage of you said it, not I, of one sportsbook. Pikkit's a little more indicative of a larger sample size, but on Twitter, obviously, it's a good sample size as well. You get people who you respect, who you think are a little more square, sharp, whatever you want to call it.
No doubt.
A lot of them, 90% are on the Twins today.
Absolutely.
For that one reason. So that's why I say that. Could they? Absolutely. I hope you guys all win because I'm not on the Red Sox. Yeah. I just don't think the Red Sox do well early, like everyone else. But I also don't think the Twins lineup, which has looked awful against the Tigers pitching staff, does much today against left-handed James Paxton, who they've done awfully against left-handed pitchers of late.
Absolutely fair enough. I wonder where everyone learned about the Sunday Night Baseball system.
So there's this guy, his name is Krabs. He did phenomenal in baseball last year, up about 50-something units. He has a model. He has his own show. I would highly recommend you go check him out. But his name is Krabs.
His name is Krabs. Yes, sir. Next pick. You got one more, right?
I do have Uno Mas.
San Diego.
So, yeah, it's the over 8.5. I had all intentions to fade the Giants coming off the Dodgers series. I think you can correct me if I'm wrong. I read this was their sweep of the Dodgers in LA was the first time in like 30 or 40 years.
Long time. No, not that long. I think in the last decade. I think they did in 2012. I think I saw that tweet. I think it was more, but again, it's been a very long time.
It's been a while, yeah. So, I mean, they hate each other as bad as those teams ever are. They will always play the best competition versus each other. What also was interesting to me is Camilo Doval. I know the bases were loaded yesterday with up by 5, I think, for the Giants. They brought in Camilo Doval up by 5 to close out the Dodgers because they were scared, and I get it. But that was Camilo Doval's second day pitching back to back. I don't think he's gonna be available today. And obviously, as we know, today is a bullpen day for the Giants. You have Walker, who's performed well. We'll see how he does against the top of the lineup in the Padres. After him, you got Sean Manaea. Sean Manaea looked great for 2 weeks. He's back to Sean Manaea. That dude sucks. His sinker is awful. He's gonna walk everybody. After Sean Manaea, you have Tyler Rogers, and Tanner Beck. I don't see how the Padres don't score for. On the other hand, Michael Wacha, the Boston Wacha, he's performed exceptionally well of late since the start of May. He's looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I think now everyone's jumping on the train to where they now think he's pitches well, and he goes against the Giants team who hits the ball fucking hard, and he gets hit around a little bit. Also, what I like is for the Padres, they pitched Wilson, Martinez, and Hader all back-to-back days, and they will not be available tonight. And if you're not pitching those 3 guys in the Padres bullpen, if you're throwing Nabil Krismat out of there, I'll take the over every single day.
Interesting.
Yeah. And obviously, with as well as Walker has pitched and as well as Wacha has pitched, 8.5 total, moving to 9 with the juice over. And in San Francisco, I respect that move. I respect where the books are taking that line, and I want to ride with it. I want to be on their side of the line.
Why not? I guess the only reason is Michael Wacha's props look pretty good. And
they do.
Really, but I get it. I see what you're saying, because for me personally, if I wanted to take the over on this game, I would take the Padres to keep hitting.
Agreed.
But I see what you're saying, because you're like, the Giants are just kind of, they might lose this game, but there's no reason for their bats to stop.
Yeah, at the same time, this reminds me, they're not as power heavy as the Giants 2 years ago, I think, when they won 100-plus games.
Yeah.
No one likes the Giants offense, Peter. They scored 15. Everyone fanned them against the Dodgers yesterday, and they scored 7 against Tony Gonsolin, who had a sub-2 AR at home this year. Yeah. No one still likes the Giants bats. And at the same time, I don't want to bet on the Padres after their 3 best arms are not available today. And Wacha, even though his props look good, he's pitched phenomenal lately, so the books are now adjusting to what he's done, not to what they're expecting to do. So I think now I'm going to jump off the train of him pitching well and just take the back to Giants offense.
Makes all the sense in the world to me. All right. Little Lager. Appreciate it, friend. 3
That's
picks,
it, brother.
3 winners. I like your card a lot today. Little bit nervous about the Marlins. I don't know
But when you place a bet, Peter, you should always feel nervous. That's how you know it's hitting.
That's probably the only one that's hitting that.
I'll break even. See you guys.
Good stuff, my friend. We'll talk to you. Okay. Arm Layton. How
we doing?
In the Just Baseball office, right over there, right behind us. Just Baseball merch. Get yours. Let's talk Marlins, Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Oh, go to mute.
That was actually the most crazy inadvertent mute I've ever hit. That was crazy. Yeah, I do think there was some merit to a lot of the things he was hitting on there in terms of why I think it's going to go under. And I took a different angle to this one. It's also risky in some ways, but I'll make my case. I like the Marlins first 5 under, 4.5 more. Marlins, Blue Jays first 5 under. I do think that you're going to see a Toronto offense that's a little sluggish, but I'll start with the Marlins side. Barrios is throwing well, and I do think that mid-major hit on a really key point there. The Marlins have come through very situationally. I've watched a lot of these games, and late in ball games, White Sox collapse against Oakland, against the Nats. They pile up against some weak pitching. A lot of the quality arms that they've seen, they've struggled to pile together hits. I think that's been very clear. It's been a clutch homer by Soler. It's been clutch things here and there and mistakes. I mean, that White Sox series was just the epitome of it. I think they're going to struggle against a Barrios who's throwing well, and you can talk about home road splits, all that good stuff. I kind of throw that out the window when you're going to a park where the ball just doesn't fly, and the ball doesn't really fly well in Miami, and I think it's going to be really hard for them to pile up hits against Barrios without Sharpie spin. So Marlins have weirdly been a little bit worse against righties. I do expect that to normalize. You've talked about that, but to me, I think the Marlins offense struggles definitely through the first 5, and then on the other side, you have a Blue Jays lineup that Yeah, I think is potent. Obviously, it's going to be tough. Brian Hoeing, I obviously am not the biggest believer in him being a guy that's going to churn out 7 shutout, but I think he can sneak through the first 1 or 2 times through the lineup and hold them to 2-3 runs. I think the Marlins are not scoring more than 1. Hoeing has been really effective in 1 to 2 inning spurts. I'm a buyer of the uptick in stuff. And I think that the plan here is for him to go 4 innings. And if he can go 4-5 quality innings, give them 2 or 3 earned runs, I think the under hits pretty easily, especially because it's 4.5. It's not 4. I think it's going to land right at 3 or 4. And I feel like this is a pretty easy under for me. One of those games that you're going to blink and it's going to be the 4th inning 0-0, I think. And then maybe a couple runs come across in the 5th.
I'm curious, full game wise, you broke it down. I'm just curious, as a Marlins guy, for a guy who's sitting on a Vladdy run entry, like who do you think is going to be available late in this Marlins game? Like I've noticed that a lot of Marlins bullpen arms have been used lately. Like who's coming in?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because I mean they've been using Puck more, and Puck's a guy that they got to be careful with because of all of the injuries for him. They sent down Brazoban. He's been terrible. Like there's a little bit
crazy. Of he was so good.
He was the best.
Yeah.
He was the literal best, and now he's just brutal. So there's some moving parts here for them. Like I really feel like they're still kind of feeling out who they're going to go to where. Like there's a chance you might see someone like Archie Bradley. The bullpen is definitely not in the best place right now. It's been good all year, but I think right now it's a little bit of this tough spot, and they're going to one of their bullpen arms to try to stretch out to 4 or 5. So on the whole game, I definitely think that the Blue Jays pile it on later, especially if Hoeing can't go 5. So I don't love the bullpen today. Also, Nardi is thrown a lot lately. That's one of the most used relievers in the game. And I don't trust Tanner Scott against bad teams. Or against good teams, excuse me. Tanner Scott just overpowers bad teams. He does not throw strikes. Good teams kind of wear him down. I don't love the bullpen, the way things have shaken out lately. So I feel fine for your Vladdy long term, but I do think that Brian Hoeing can get him to ground out once or twice. I mean, that's what he does with the sinker. And the infield defense is the best it's been, with Wendell at short, Birdie at third, or Amaya on the left side as well. Like that's the best it's been. Segura was very meh. So I do feel better about the team defensively. I feel better about the first 5 innings, and I think Hoeing's going to sneak in there and just get some ground balls. And then I think Barrios shoves. I really do.
Arm Layton's a Brian Hoeing guy. He's always been a Brian Hoeing guy.
I'm pushing. That's where the value is. I'm trying to find the value. I find it in Brian Hoeing. Just didn't have the guts to take a Marlins bet here because I think they're really going to struggle to score.
That's more than fair. I'm just looking at the line now to see if anything has moved towards your favor. It's same price.
Same price.
Means it's hitting because my bets have been moving in the direction I wanted. I haven't been hitting. But normally you want to be on the right side of the lag movement. But I mean, you got an under. Well, the full game under has moved, which is good. I don't know what that means. It's moved towards the under.
Move towards the under. I'll take it.
Take it.
Might
as well. Good stuff. I mean, that one pick, right?
No, we got 2.
You got one more. Oh, you got 2.
We got 2.
Get into the next
Reds,
one.
First 5.
Okay.
Minus 0.5. So minus a half run at minus 120. This is an interesting one for me because I think there's a lot of ways that you can slice this up. You have 2 not very good left-handed pitchers, but you have one who I think is proven in Austin Gomber that he can throw away from Coors. He can be a serviceable 5 away from Coors. And the numbers away from Coors are solid. I know he's pitching, excuse me, in Great American Ballpark, but for him, it's about how the stuff moves. You have a Brandon Williamson who has just been, I think, just skating by the skin of his teeth. He's been brutal at home. The expected stats at home are heinous. And I think he can get knocked around today. I just look at this matchup here where it's going to be rough both ways. But ultimately, I just think that you're going to have the Reds offense taken over. And at first I was thinking, okay, maybe Gomber can compete. Maybe Williamson gets knocked around. But ultimately, I really think that this is just a battle of offenses. The Rockies have been so brutal overall away from home. Williamson, I think, is somehow going to cash in on this luck still. This was a bet where it was like, I hate both. But ultimately, I'm going to take the red hot team at home where I think both starting pitchers get knocked around. I think it's going to be a battle of the bullpens, and I know the Rockies' bullpen's been better, but this is just a weird gut pick where I just feel like Gomber is going to struggle. I think it's get priced in where he's been better away from home, so I think people are looking at it that way. And Williamson, like I think the books have him as trash. Like that they know it. They know it. There's no value.
They do know it. That's maybe why I saw this line. I was like, it's pretty short, but then it moved, and I'm like, I've noticed they hate him, and kind of for good reason.
I get it. Like I just set the stage. I literally was like, you probably thought I was making a case for the Rockies. Like that's exactly why I think there's value on the Reds here. And Tennessee won. Shit. That's why I think there's value on the Reds.
Did I lose my Stanford ticket? Oh, there goes another Tennessee won. Good for them, though. That's kind of sick. All right, continue.
But yeah, I just think this is one where you look at the surface, you're like, oh, okay, you got Gomber pitching away from Coors, you got Williamson who stinks at home and whatever, and it just stinks in general. There's just one team here that's playing really good baseball, and there's another team that's not. And both pitchers, I think, are kind of equally whatever. So I think when you take it from that lens, I'm getting a decent price for the much better team playing at home that rakes at home. I think it's going to be a slugfest. I wouldn't mind taking the over either in this, but a slugfest at home for the Reds, that plays into their favor. I really think that ultimately you're going to have a little bit of that classic Coors hangover. It's not about really the environment as much for the Rockies hitters. It's about how these pitches are going to move. You know, it doesn't matter that the walls are closer in. It's that the pitches don't move that much when they're at Coors, and they move a lot more when they're away from Coors, and you have that hangover for a lot of hitters. I think this plays into the Reds' favor. I think it's a slugfest. I think both starters stink, and ultimately the Reds outslug the Rockies. And I'm going to take the Reds at home outslugging the Rockies any day of the week.
Good stuff, my man. Yeah, there was one more question before you go. What does Arm think about Reds' first 5 team total over 2.5?
Love it. I love that. Yeah, we can't take those on the stream, right? Otherwise, yeah. I would. I love that. I absolutely love that. I think the Reds are going to take care of business.
Good stuff, my man. Good stuff. We got 2 winners. Why not us? A little first 5 action.
What a nice little heater. Let's try to get to let's get back to even. I think we're 2 streams away from getting back to even.
Flash the leaderboard for the people so they know when people come on where everyone's at currently. So again, tracked on the Pikkit Sports app. Aram was down, north of 10 units not too long ago. Kids heating up. Remember, because you want to catch people on heaters. Like this thing is going to change. Like right now on June 19th, this is where the leaderboard is. I'm telling you, on June 23rd, it's going to look completely different. And I think Aram's going to shoot up the leaderboard. Good stuff again, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace out. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have, a lot of people are asking Wake Forest or LSU. So it's funny. My college guy texted me today. He said, what's the line on LSU? And I said, plus 120. He said, love it. And I was like, shit, man. But he's the guy we've been texting. Like, he's my college guy. And we are so heavy on Wake Forest to win the whole thing. So I'm like, are we really going to do that? And he's like, true. I don't want to do that because, we all have tickets on Wake Forest. The total in that game has dropped from 11.5 to 9.5. I weirdly think it lands on 10 because you got 2 starters. You got Floyd pitching. Let me figure out who's the because it's not ideal starters for either team. Let's see. I know, Ben, sorry to keep you waiting. I just got to find these starters for the people. I just want to make sure. Whatever. Basically, slight lean towards over 9.5. My college guy loves LSU plus 120. The value is on LSU. So let's get to Ben. Mr. Ben Carey, how are you?
What's going on?
Friend, another man in the green. Not even slowly, just heating up.
Yeah. I mean, the last 2 times I got in the green, I had bad days. So hopefully I can change that today.
Rome wasn't built in one day. Let's get to it.
It wasn't. Let's start with let's just get this one out of the way, actually. The Royals, man.
You're a sick person.
It's one of those plays where I typically don't like to do something like this, but surprisingly, our model supported it. But I actually gave it out before the model even ran because I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? Plus 125.
They got to win one.
They got to win one for Lyles. They got to win one. This is a good spot to do so.
14 in Lyles starts.
0-14, the Royals are, and then Lyles, of course, 0-11. But this is a guy, Reese Olson, that I think the Royals can hit. And if it's not this game, I don't know when it's going to be. And it just seems like one of those spots on a Monday. Man, Jordan fucking Lyles. I never thought I'd be doing this, but fuck it. That's my analysis.
No, it's a baseball anomaly right now, right?
It is.
Like everyone's like, oh, catching the falling knife on him, and everyone was wanted to fade Cal Quantrill last year, and I was like, it's always the Cal train, and he just kept winning. With Lyles, he just keeps losing. It's horrible.
Yeah, and he's getting pretty bad run support in some of those games too.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things.
He's allowing 7, and the Royals are scoring 1.
Yeah, which is just like, okay, guys, you gotta. I mean, that's just math, right? Like, you gotta score more than Lyles is giving up. So let's hope that today is the day that the Royals can get it done.
Good stuff.
Get Lyles a win.
Let's move on to pick number 2.
Yeah, pick number 2. I think this is the Rockies plays here. So first and foremost, this total. So I saw it sitting at 9.5 last night, and I was like, damn it, I'm going to have to do it because I knew it was going to move to 10. And I think the biggest thing for me, why I'm playing this over alongside the Reds money line, is this is the second time that the Rockies are seeing Williamson. And in his first start, which it's pretty rare for someone to make their first ever MLB start in Coors.
I remember
he actually pitched pretty well, man.
Pitched great, 5 shotty.
Yeah. Maybe one. I think 1 earned, but
no, 5 shutty when I took Rocky's first 5.
Oh, and then they gave up 1 in the.
It was 0-0, and then they gave it up.
Gave up 1 in the 6. Yeah, which I was shocked. Like I did a little bit of research on this guy, but I'm like, you know what? If he comes in here and pitches well in Coors, I tip my cap. So this is the second time seeing him, and he's had 6 starts on the season. So the Rockies lineup looks pretty weak today as a whole. I think someone's making their debut. I'm spacing who that is.
I think it's their second baseman, right?
Yeah, man, we are just pumping guys up right now. see what sticks.
It's Montes.
Yeah.
Coco. No, Coco's been playing.
No, Coco's in.
Kaiser.
Yeah. I mean, look at that lineup. I was joking in the Discord.
Alfaro's going deep.
Someone's got to go deep, right?
Someone's got to go deep, and it's probably Alfaro.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great American ballpark. So going up against a lefty, the Rockies haven't hit lefties well, but I just think that one of these guys is going to make contact. So I like the over. But the reason why I like the Reds, which is another play of mine, is because Gomber is a guy who's going to give up at least 1 or 2 home runs, and Reds have enough guys they can get on base. I think Gomber is going to get lit up today. He's had a few good starts, but I mean, his stuff isn't really impressive. I mean, away from Coors, at least his curveball will break a little bit and have some movement, but there's going to be guys just waiting to hit one over the fence. So hopefully all goes well and the Reds, score like 7 or 8 and Rockies score a few, and boom, we hit both.
So what I like to do, of course, because like, for example, my bet Twins -125 now moved to -145. And I said, don't lay anything more than 1.25 units for you now that I think the total's at 10.5. I think. Let me just do a double check on that. Oh, Cardinals tied it up against Josiah. 10.5 at -110. What would you say to the people who want to take this over?
Yeah, man. Asking for 11 runs can be tough, but it is a place to do so. I mean, I think your model had it another run and a half from, or at least the run from the ballpark.
Has it. It's like a 5.31 to 5.34, so it's like basically 10.65.
Yeah, I think ours has it going 11. So technically, I would still play it. I think this is.
Do you think play it for the full unit, or maybe just lower the risk?
Maybe lower the risk a little bit. Maybe just lay like 0.8 or I don't know, maybe a unit. Who cares? I actually think that this game is one of those spots where we could see crazy amounts of runs. The only thing I'm worried about is the Reds lineup hasn't come out yet. I think Allie will be in there. I mean, there's no reason why they would sit him, right?
Yeah, but also it sounds weird, but Ellie is not that good against lefties. So it's not the worst thing if he doesn't play. That is by far his worst split. That's something that he needed to work on in the minor leagues, and he came up and he's been struggling as a right-handed bat. Against righties, he's awesome.
Yeah.
But he is facing a lefty. So weirdly enough, he's not incredibly instrumental to this.
Okay, here's a
At least by
question.
splits.
I have a question for you. So I've watched like 2 or 3 of his games in full.
Yeah.
He hasn't bunted yet, right?
No, but like,
Why not?
He's hitting fourth. I know, you're right. He's a Reds lineup
Dude.
is out. Ellie is confirmed in the lineup.
Oh, it is? Wow.
Yeah.
It must have literally just got confirmed.
Yeah.
I mean, in a weird way, it's like, hey, if Ellie has a bad split against lefties, I mean, Gomber's semi-athletic, but man, I mean, you saw that infield single, man. I've never seen anyone beat out a single hit to the first baseman.
It's amazing.
Like,
he's amazing.
I don't know. It's just an idea. I mean, there's a reason why I'm at my house right now, not coaching an MLB team, but hey, something to think about.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
And we also have the Reds money line,
Yeah.
1.65 units.
Yeah, and I was kind of
All that shit.
mentioning it. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, this is a pretty confident play. This lineup does not impress me for the Rockies. I mean, Kaiser, I know a little bit about him. Montez, Jones, and Doyle, if they can get on base, I mean, they'll do their thing if they can get on base. McMahon's been hot, but I just think overall, Diaz has to perform well. And I am on the over, but it's just kind of like a little bit of a hedge. I think both will hit for me. I'm confident, but the Reds is probably my favorite play versus the over.
Good stuff, my man. All right. That's it.
That's
Right.
it.
Good stuff,
Yeah.
my man.
By the way, for the World Series tickets, how do we pick them out ourselves, or how does that process work?
Yeah. So if you win, basically, BetMGM is going to provide the tickets, and it's just 2 tickets to the World Series. I'm not exactly sure which game.
I'm just trying to
but
plan out my schedule and everything. So, just wanted to know.
Yeah, we'll definitely
Sitting in
do
my,
it.
I'm talking like I'm like in second place right now, down like a half unit.
Hey,
This is what happens when I get in the green, you know.
You never know. It's confidence.
You never know.
Confidence. We love it.
You never know. It's gonna come down to the wire, man.
It is.
And
That's why
fucking
I'm saying.
Javon is the one who really scares me. I know you're up there, but like Javon will like go in these crazy heaters and start hitting all these prize picks, and then we're all gonna be freaking out. So.
Gino too. Jake
Gino's
Hastings is coming on later.
Gino's got to get his volume up though.
True.
Yeah,
that's
but
the problem. He needs 100 picks.
He may get to August and he's at 50 and he just starts pumping plays out like crazy.
We'll see what
All right.
happens. That's what a lot of people. You got to get up to 100 picks to be in the competition.
That's very
but
true.
good
Yep.
stuff,
Yep.
Ben.
All right, man.
Talk to you
We'll
soon,
see you.
all right?
Yep.
Peace.
Later.
Yeah. Show the Ellie Bunt single hit there.
Sharply hit. What a play by Abreu. He'll try to get to the bag safe at first base.
That man is 6'5". Runs like a deer. Let's welcome on Ollie. Oh, we got Ben. Real
Dude,
quick.
that is insane. Like,
I mean, it's mind blowing.
fucking crazy. Anyways,
Peace out, my man.
later.
All right, we got Ollie 1 unit. One of the hottest sports bettors on planet Earth.
All hot streaks come to an end.
All right. Oh, wow. What happened? We accidentally hit the backspace button.
I can, yeah, I mean, looks like they want me to host, but I got a short clock here.
Right now with you? Oh, if we got a short clock, all 1 unit in the green. We got some half unit plays today.
Yeah, just one actually, because the other game, that other play already hit. So, shocker, right? The play that starts at 4:00, the over in the Nationals game hits in the 5th inning.
Not a baby.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that means the Pirates are losing. Pirates are surprisingly on my timeline a lot today. Not sure why. So are the Royals. So good luck to that. Sharps on the Royals. Sharps on Jordan Lyles. What a surprise, right? has worked out well the last 14 times he's taken the mound. Um, good luck with that. Not a trend. Like you said, like Cal Quantrill just keeps defying everything statistic and keeps on winning. Jordan Lyles is not defying anything. He's an awful pitcher, and he's losing on a team that can't hit. It's really not that complicated.
It's quite the anomaly, isn't it?
And I actually think Reese Olson being minus 160 is pretty damn telling to which side is sharp. Just saying. But all that being said, I like the Pirates today. Probably kind of dumb to take them. I think they're on a pretty big losing streak after, I think, what is it, 6 now?
I think so, or at least 5.
5 or 6 game losing streak after they blew it late in the game yesterday against the Brewers. But I feel like every time I come on here, I get to fade Drew Smiley, and the last time the Pirates played, or it might have been the last time that we had stream, I was on here on Wednesday fading Drew Smiley with the Pirates, and it looked good for a while until it wasn't, and the Pirates blew it. They did not win. I was between the over and the Pirates in that game, ended up taking the Pirates. The over was free as air. The Pirates lost. But today, pretty similar analysis to the game last week, right? It's a guy that I don't really know much about or trust taking the mound for the Pirates, but I think the Cubs got a lot of their hitting done at home. Now they're going on the road. It's not necessarily a hitter's ballpark in Pittsburgh, but we got a Henry Davis debut. Maybe that'll inject a little bit of life in them. I know he's batting 7th playing outfield, so I'm not sure how the adventures out there in right field are going to go. Hopefully they don't hit it his way, because that would make me nervous. But in general, I like them to take care of business today. I know Bednar pitched yesterday and blew it, but I think he should be available again today. Holderman should be available again today. And
I think Holderman's hurt. Isn't he on the IL?
I don't know. Honestly, that sucks if true. Shows you how much I kind of blindly fade Drew Smiley.
Holderman was just put on the IL 3 days ago with wrist inflammation.
Okay. Well, at least it's a wrist. That it could be a lot worse. But at the all said and done, Bednar pitched yesterday. I think he should be around today. Ramirez is another guy back there for the Pirates that I like that should be around. But this is mostly just a fade of Drew Smiley.
Any reason not taking Pirates team total or anything?
Like every time I try to fucking get queued and take Pirates first 5 here, or Pirates team total over 3.5, like it just doesn't work out. So I'm just going to take the Pirates on the money line. I just think they flat out win the game. Don't really know how. Don't really have necessarily a game script to go. I just think I want to fade the Cubs. I want to fade Drew Smiley. I don't think the Cubs are good. I know they had a cute little winning streak last week against the Pirates, and then they took a series against the Orioles at home. At home, I will admit, I got to stop fading the Cubs when they go on the road. They are just a different ball club, especially. So give me the Pirates at home on the money line. I think they'll get it done for us.
Good stuff, my friend. I mean, I would lean the Pirates with you. I know. I think I saw Javon and Krabs' BTL squad ride is the Pirates money line. So we'll see.
Great.
They've been good. Come on, they've been good.
They've been great. They've been fantastic. Actually, they've been better than good.
They've been fantastic. I agree.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, think squad ride is the Tigers, so it might not even be the Pirates.
Laying the juice with the Tigers. Very nice. All that said and done, are we doing a prize picks today?
Every Tuesday and Friday.
Every Tuesday and Friday. Okay, good to know.
But you can give it out. Like, you got a square that you love?
Yeah, James Paxton's getting his strikeouts for sure today.
Probably gets his strikeouts.
I'm just betting that on the book in general. I had 6.5, so James Pack. I really, really want to play the under in that game, but that's one that seems like it's just like it's like the fucking Twinkie dangling in front of you. You're trying to and it just keeps. That's what that play is. And the Brewers under, like those two, the Brewers under and the Twins under are 2 plays I really, really want to play today, but they just seem too easy. So on a Monday, I'm keeping it light, taking but I still like James Paxton to get his strikeouts. Fun fact, if you didn't know it, he flew in yesterday. So he flew in during the day yesterday. So he's been there. He's well rested. Not like the rest of the team. The Red Sox bats will probably be sluggish off a doubleheader, Sunday travel, blah, blah, blah. We know the whole story, right?
Mm-hmm.
But James Paxton was there yesterday, slept there, got his old man rest in. So we're good.
Good for him. All right. I hope he's horrible. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you, Ollie. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
See ya.
Just for anyone curious, I see it in chat. Squad Ride is the Pittsburgh Pirates, and Ollie's on the Pirates. I mean, Ollie's been killer. So, and the Squad Rides have been killer. So, definitely consider the Pirates. Colby.
Heyo.
Oh, no mustache. I mean, can we move on to Tomas? Producer John, can we wrap this up? What are we doing? Why no mustache?
Because I can do what I want.
Yeah, you can do what you want. Yeah, there's the leaderboard. Let's hear the plays.
Yeah, you want the well? How about your Yankees getting swept by my Red Sox?
We suck.
Can we talk about that
We
first?
suck. I don't care. I don't bet on the Yankees. They're a garbage franchise. I never want to watch them ever again. And I was barely watching them last night because I don't want to watch the Brian Bayo show with Billy McKinney and Jake Bowers as our best players. I don't want to watch that at all. I'd rather watch college baseball. Way more fun. So I don't care about your baby blue Red Sox hat and no mustache.
Billy McKinney legitimately puts up the best at bats on the Yankees right now, which is wild.
And it's like one a game, too. It's not even all of his at bats.
Wild shit. All right, you want my play, though? I won't waste your time. I won't get you mad. I'm sorry.
Let's hear it.
My play today is the Padres money line minus 115. They're going up against the Giants, and both of these teams are coming off huge series. The Padres lost their first game against the Rays. They won 2 in a row to win the series against the Rays. And then you have the Giants coming off of that sweep against the Dodgers. So both these teams are have got to be fired up right now. The Padres have been swinging the bats really well the last 14 days, a 123 WRC plus. You can tell that having not only Tatis back, but Manny back in this lineup is big for them. Tatis has a 235 WRC plus the last 14 days. Manny has a 146 WRC plus the last 14 since coming back. And Xander Bogaerts, who I love to shit all over, has actually been really good the last 2 weeks, 160 WRC plus. So this lineup's looking really good for the Padres right now. The Giants have obviously been swinging the bats well too. They have a 129 WRC plus the last 14 days. But the reason I like the Padres over this Giants offense today is because the Giants, they have not been scoring via the home run, and they face Michael Wacha, who my only concern with Michael Wacha is a home run regression for him. Over the last 49 innings pitched for Wacha, Pete, that's since May 1st, he has an 0.91 ERA and a 2.91 FIP. He's only given up 2 home runs in that time. So my big worry for Michael Wacha would be, okay, if he's in a spot where he could have some home run regression, I'd be worried. But in a spot where he's pitching in Oracle Park and Ballpark Pal has the home runs down 28% in that park today, I absolutely love tailing Michael Wacha, who's going up against, he's going up against a Ryan Walker opener. And Pete, do you know who Ryan Walker is?
Yeah. I mean, he's like a Giants bullpen arm. He's all right. He's okay.
Dude, have you seen his numbers?
Well, no, I know his numbers are great.
It's kind of crazy. I didn't know who he was until I looked at his numbers today, but he has a 1.23 ERA and a 2.03 xERA, and that's
very limited sample though.
Limited sample, 14.2 innings pitched. Here's a crazy stat for you though. He's given up 1 home run in 95 innings since he got to AA. 1 home run.
That I didn't know.
That is crazy. This guy, there's something about him, but he's an opener. He's only going to go 1 to 2 innings, so I'm not worried about that. What I really do like is that they're going to Keaton Winn after, who has had very limited success in the minor leagues. He made his debut last week, 4 innings pitched, 3 walks, only 1 hit, only 2 strikeouts against the Cardinals. And so I think this Padres lineup can jump all over Keaton Winn. If they don't score in the first inning or 2 against Ryan Walker, I'm not really worried. That's why I'm playing the full game over the first 5. And I think the only reason that this line is closer to even is, as Mid-Major mentioned, this Padres bullpen is a bit weak tonight because they don't have their 3 best tonight. But I'm not too worried about it because I think the Padres are going to get off to an early lead here and hold it down.
Hard to trust you with no mustache, but I'll choose to because I do like the Padres with you. I like this play. It's just hard looking at that bare face.
I mean, yeah, I just, it's summertime. I want to feel fast. I feel fast without the facial hair.
All right, that brought me back in. I like that. He feels faster. I could buy that. I could buy that. Kind of good stuff. That's the one play, right?
It's just my one play. It's 1.5 units. I think I'm like 1 in 4 on 1.5 unit plays this year. So really do tell with
some caution,
but yeah, I know I like this play. This is my only play tonight. But I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully a little higher up in the leaderboard. So we'll see.
Good stuff, my friend. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
I love Colby. No mustache. How can you tell with no mustache? How can you tell with no mustache? I know he's still in queue. How can you tell with no mustache? Tomas.
What's going on, Peter?
It's so funny because on the stream, you've been struggling. But I see what you've been doing on weekends, and like you destroy cards. Early games, you destroy. And when you come on stream, it's just been bad lately. Again, you're on a really bad cold streak, but again, you're down a unit.
Yep.
Like you're still fine. You're still well within the competition. Mm-hmm. But I have to shout you out because on your Twitter, like you are killing it. And then on the stream, the couple late night plays, it just hasn't gone your way.
I feel like I can't catch a break, especially on stream. I mean, the other day I think it was on Friday, was the one day we would have had a stream. I picked up like 4 units and I was just like, I can't win. I can't win. But the weekends I've been insane. I mean, I'm still up, I think, over like 34 units to start for the whole MLB season. It's not even saying start now. We're already, 2.5 months in. But no, I got 3 plays today. I really like the slate. It was a limited slate, but I think there's some quality value, and I'm looking forward to seeing what roll out today. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Pick number 1.
Blue Jays money line. I'm on the Jays today. A couple reasons. First off, this is a system play for me. Interleague road favorites hitting at 66% this year, as well as a system I've come here a couple times. AL East teams versus non-AL East teams hitting at 71%. I mean, the AL East is the best division in baseball right now. Also, too, Barrios, I used to fade him, a couple months ago, but now he's pitching pretty well. 1.37 ERA in the month of June, and the Jays are 7-1 over his last 8 starts. Also, too, if you want to look at this as a part of me thinks this is a little bit of a fishier line for a couple of reasons. I mean, the Blue Jays just lost 2 of 3 from the Rangers, and the Marlins just won a series against the Nats, and they looked pretty good. I know it's the Nationals, but minus 150, I think that's a lot. And the books, they got 60% of the bets are on them, but 75% of the money on the Jays. The lines kind of tick towards their favor a little bit. I like Toronto in the spot. In my opinion, they're the better team on paper. They got the better bats, and I'm going to roll with Barrios tonight.
Hard to doubt you. There's a couple different plays in this game. Mid-major is on the Marlins team total under.
Mm-hmm.
Aram is on the first 5 under because he thinks Barrios shoves, and you're on the Blue Jays. It seems like it's all Jays.
Yeah, I like the Jays. I think Barrios might be turning around. We'll see. I mean, he's looked really good this past month. I mean, who knows?
Who knows? Pick number 2.
Number 2, Colorado Cincy over 10.
Wow.
It's at like 10.5 now. I wish I would have had 9. Yeah. Soon enough, it's going to be like at 11.5. I mean, every time I looked, it's just continuing getting juiced up to the over. A couple reasons. Gomber, he just can't pitch. I mean, I'm not even going to sit here and say how bad he is. I don't know what he's still doing in the rotation, but it is what it is. Williamson's expected ERA is over 7. I mean, he's been pretty lucky if you want to say that. But also, too, Reds have better splits against lefties. The line opened at 9.5. Now it's at 10.5. I got 10. And both teams over the last 6 games are both 4-2 to the over. And the over was taking in 63% of the bets, but 90% of the money earlier when I locked in at 10. I like it. I mean, both of these pitchers aren't good. I don't like the Rockies bullpen. I mean, they just got hit around by the Braves this past weekend. It's going over. It's going over.
What I always ask, because we want to help people on stream who want to tell and like the pitch. I asked Ben the same thing. He said at 10.5, which is lower the risk. Are you still laying, like, for example, you wouldn't have to lay minus 120 now, it'd be minus 110. Do you still lay 1.1 units? Like, how would you play it? because you're at 1.8 units. Like you're basically hammering this.
Mhm.
If I said, erase this bet, you have to rebet it. It's at 10.5. What would you do?
I'm probably going 1 unit. I
One
probably
unit.
would play it because I'm playing this one to win 1.5. But at 10.5, I still need 11 for myself to win.
Yeah.
But 10.5, I'd probably just go 1 unit on it. Also, too, the return of Joey Votto, I think that's a part of me likes the Reds today. Like, if I had to pick a side, I'd pick Cincinnati. But I also know the Rockies are definitely going to score some runs off of Williamson. But if anyone has 10.5, and then even if it got to like 11, I'd still play it for a unit.
Fair enough. Any more?
Last one.
Let's go.
I got Padres Giants over 8.5 runs. Over 8.5 runs. Couple reasons. I understand that the Giants are throwing out an opener day. Michael Wacha, talk about him for a second. He's had a phenomenal year.
Mhm.
But I think 8.5 is pretty high considering how well Wacha has pitched. But I also see this as another thing, too, is that this is a divisional game. The familiarity between these two teams, I like the over spot without a doubt, just on paper. But I got 18-mile-per-hour winds blowing straight to center field. It's blowing out today. And I know these aren't guys who give up home runs. But at the same time, if I got a Giants team that's playing a bullpen game, I got an 8.5 total, which to me it's weirdly high. If this was like a 7.5, 8 spot, it would be a little different. But it was juiced up at -120. So this morning I was like, what if this gets to 9? It was leaning in that direction anyway. And also, too, I just think there's the aspect of anyone who's just casually betting on this game sees two guys with sub-2 ERAs and go, oh, under 8.5, no doubt, without realizing that opener aspect of it. But I don't like who the Giants are going to second with Win. I think the Padres are going to score a couple runs off of him for sure. I think Wacha gets hit around a little bit. I think people underestimate how good the Giants offense has been. They're sneaky good. They only need like 2 innings. I watched most of the Dodgers series. Let's think about it. Every inning, they'd probably go like 0-0, and then they'd put up like a 7 spot or like a 5 spot, just crooked number after crooked number. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did that today against Wacha. Give me the over.
This one, yeah, I got nothing against it.
I just can't pick a side in this game. I know there's people on the Padres, but I get why. I understand the aspect of it, but the fact of the matter is I don't want to play a side to this because on paper, right, you would think that, hey, the Giants got themselves a bullpen game. Walker's been pitching really good, and they just beat the Rays, and the Giants are coming off the dot. For it to be a pick 'em, I think that's what worries me a little bit. Because I personally do kind of lean towards the Padres because I think they are playing a better baseball right now. Because
You think they're playing better baseball than the Giants who just swept the Dodgers?
I value the Rays higher than I value the Dodgers. That's the way that I see it. If I'm just taking off this past series,
Actually, yeah, I know. I see what you're saying.
And that's the way I see it. And also, too, when it comes to the Giants, they're going to score some runs. Like I said, they did just sweep the Dodgers. They're swinging a hot bat. And that's why I'm not going to pick a side. It's a coin flip for me. Whoever wins this game, whoever loses this game better, I bet they lose tomorrow. You kind of
see, let me guess, you kind of see like a 4-4 game.
Yeah.
Whoever wins.
Yep. And that's the way I see it. And truthfully, let's say San Diego or the Giants win. Whoever loses this game, I'm probably going to bet on them tomorrow. I think this is going to be a really competitive series. I kind of want to see how it shakes out tonight. But I thought if I'm going to pick a side in this game, I'm playing the total.
Good stuff, my man. I got a weird feeling, and I don't know why, and it's not really based on anything. I'm just like, Giants bullpen games have been so damn good, and Wacha has been just a weird, they always post his totals kind of high, and they're starting to respect him. I don't know. It gives me a weird vibe, but back-to-back people who are smart and who win come on and have given it to me. So, I'm not saying I couldn't bet it, but hey, I'm rooting for you.
Think of it this way too. If you look at 8.5, like you kind of saying that too, you're gonna sit there and be like, man, 8.5 seems it's like a lot of runs. I think I could come on here and if I pitch the under, I think I could spin it way better than I would the over, besides just having the weather factor on my hand and that these two teams are swinging a hot bat. And so for me, like I said, a little bit of fishiness of 8.5. That's a pretty high total considering how good Wacha has been. And like you said, the Giants bullpen games have been pretty well. They've been pitching pretty good. 8.5 just seems too high, just a little too high for me.
Good stuff, my man. Let's get some winners for the people. Keep killing
always.
It.
All right, brother.
Talk to you. All right, peace. All right, last but certainly not least, show the leaderboard for the people. We got Jake Hazen in the car coming in. Yeah, he's 4th, but at 7 units Let's go, baby.
Here,
Consistent winners for the
I
people.
noticed?
What?
Since I came back, what was different?
Since what?
Since I came back, what was different?
Since you came back, what do you mean?
Like the ones that are coming on stream. Like, this week.
like a corporate
beard,
bearded
dude.
Jake
The beard.
Hazen.
It's Colby
It's the beard.
Shadrell.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we doing? If it works, it works. Like, we're just shaving and we're like, oh, I feel fast.
It's a bunch of bullshit. Yeah.
Feel fast was a good line, though. I did like that from Colby. It was funny.
All right. So I started my day. I got to just bitch a little bit here. I had 2 plays in the Nats game. I had Nats first 5 team total at 2.5 at plus 136.
Bang.
First inning cash. But I also had their first 5 money line. That's a 5-0 loser, which is like, ouch. Mm-hmm. But started at money, full plus money. So
let's go.
Carry that little ounce of momentum we got out of that game. They made like 0.17 units. Am I the only person on earth that doesn't think Barrios has a no-hitter today?
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
So this is like Barrios. He's pitching so well lately, and I kind of expect this kind of come down to earth. All his expected numbers aren't too great. Granted, the Marlins lineup doesn't really have the best matchup for me, but I just think it's kind of a spot where I'm going to play a little bit contrarian here. I've seen a lot of Barrios love all over my timeline. You see the splits, all those stuff. There's not many people like the Marlins bats get hot today, which I can see them still losing this game, but I'm targeting Brian Hoeing pretty heavy because I think he gets lit up. This Blue Jays lineup is pretty horrible. There's that rookie prospect, 26 years old. I don't know if he's prospect. He's 26. He's behind Vlad today.
For the Blue Jays?
Seen the Blue Jays lineup, dude? Look at the Blue Jays lineup. We do not have the guy we want behind Vlad today for our run.
Oh, no. Spencer Horwitz. No, he's fine. He's a good bat. Yeah, he's a good bat. Okay. Yeah, he's a good bat. There's a reason he's hitting 5th in front of Matt Chapman. That's not a mistake. He's a good bat.
Okay. That shouldn't be like, fuck. What is this?
No. That's I'm telling you, they didn't just mess up the lineup card and put him 5th. He can hit.
Okay,
that's the reason he's in the bigs, and he's DHing. That's what he does. He hits.
Okay, yeah. Sounds good. No, Merrifield also sucks. He's been pretty damn good for them this year.
Yeah,
been okay. He's been just a batting average merchant, which is you know whatever. But so Hoeing's a majority sinker guy, and that sinker in a very short stint this season. Granted, I think one of those starts were against the Braves, which is like that's just it's the Braves. What can you do? What can you do about it? But majority sinker against this lineup, especially some of the guys on the top line, like Chapman mashes sinkers. Vladdy, I think this is a start where he finally he's been really good, but like 800 OPS for Vlad is
that's the thing. It's like I have his over hits and like he's on pace, but I'm like, I expected you to hit this by September. I mean, it's gonna be a sweat now.
It's like Trout, like he's having a career worst years. He has a 140 WRC plus right
now. Yeah, that's
the worst.
People I see calling him automatic out Trout. I'm like, he's
the worst
not hitting
WRC
350
plus he's ever had. I saw some Twitter today. Worst WRC plus he's ever had in a season was 165.
He's one of the greatest of all time.
Same thing as Vlad. He's still been good, but he's not been Vladdy. And so I can't really dig too into this. Carr after work, Hazen doesn't really get quite too in depth. I have no numbers in front of me, but I expect this sinker to get blasted today from the top end of this Blue Jays lineup. And I think me being the only person on earth who thinks Barrios doesn't throw no hitters, kind of good for the Marlins. I don't want to go full game here because I do love both these bullpens. I know the Marlins bullpen's pretty taxed out, and not sure really about how the Blue Jays bullpen's doing, but I just want to kind of avoid that in general and just kind of target the first 5 here.
Fair enough, my friend. And you got
not the best sell job in the world, but hopefully it hits.
No, I see what you're saying. I mean, this game is so interesting because I agree. I've heard a lot of Barrios love, but I think Barrios, he's kind of deserved it at this point. But let's see him do it again. It's like one of those things.
I want to sell his stock at his highest.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty high right
That's
now.
what I've done for ever since I started betting MLB. I like
it's
selling guys' stocks at its highest.
So mid-major is on the Marlins team total under. He's saying he's selling the Marlins bats at their highest.
But no one's buying into the Marlins bats. People are buying into Barrios. I mean, I'm a guy. I have Marlins futures. I have them to make the playoffs and I have their over win total. I mean, I feel kind of good with the other one. Playoffs is kind of long stretch, like 0.3 units on it. But this team is, I'm not impressed. And I'm a guy who's backed them coming into this season. But no one's really buying their stock. I'm selling Barrios at its highest, but let's go into the price per entry.
Good stuff. Let's go on the price per entry. I love this. Tell me why you love the Vladdy run, because I sent it out to my subs,
He has like an
and then I do a quick
value against sinkers, like a
I do a-
600 X Woba. Like,
yeah,
he's going yard today. Like,
I agree.
I should have even brought up the guy hitting behind him. It's not going to matter. He's sitting a tank 3-0 first inning. So yeah. So Vlad, I mean, you already went over quite a bit. I mean, we have the same reasoning, right? We did guy crushes sinkers. I know Hoeing goes a slider too. I'm pretty sure the slider isn't too impressive as well. But Vlad can't hit breaking this year. But he throws enough sinkers where it's not really going to matter.
And the four seams. He throws 3 pitches: sinker, slider, fastball, and Vladdy crushes fastballs too.
Yes, exactly. And then we got Corbin Carroll under 7.5 fantasy score, which is got to be the nastiest pick of the day on the stream, right? I don't think.
Yeah,
really
that's crazy. I wonder what cutters, huh?
Cutters,
yeah,
changeups. That's the only 2 pitches that Corbin Carroll has negative run values on. That's all Corbin Burns throws against lefties, and Corbin Burns is better against lefties in general. I mean, that's just assuming with his arsenal being cutter changeup for the most part, you're going to be better against lefties than you are righties. It's kind of bound to be a very splits guy. I believe there's like a 140 like XBA and cutters against lefties this year. Changeup's not much different. The XWO was good. I mean, this is a tough matchup for Corbin Carroll, and it's nasty. But I think we get a Corbin Burns masterclass specifically against Carroll tonight. But I tell you what, if this bet's gonna lose, it's gonna lose in the bullpen, which is like terrifying. But I think Burns is gonna do a good enough job, or maybe we get one at bat where a guy he gets a single, if a double, like it wouldn't hurt. Like just one double out of Corbin Carroll today. Actually, I'd rather him hit a double than a single because you're probably gonna steal it back. So
yeah, that's a good point. You'd rather him hit a double. I mean, he's officially tied with Acuna for F4 now.
He's so good, dude. I love it. I can't believe I forget he's a rookie.
I mean, yeah, I said it in a TikTok when I was talking about that. I was like, Corbin Carroll, he got tired of the Rookie of the Year race and he's going for the MVP. And I just got a bunch of people when Ellie got called up, like, should I bet on Ellie to win Rookie of the Year? I was like, did we forget about our plus 500 ticket on Corbin Carroll?
He's a rookie.
Yeah,
when I was looking through player futures, there was 2 futures that caught my eye that I knew were winning, no chance they were losing. I saw Corbin Carroll plus 300. Like, I'm not gonna bet that, but that's 100% hitting. Then Ohtani was plus 150. I'm like, that is the biggest guarantee ever. If injuries didn't exist, Ohtani MVP would have been the biggest guarantee ever, but it was plus 150 injuries.
Yeah.
So you can't really touch that.
So the way I got plus 500, I was very strategic because I was like, I think Jordan Walker is going to get announced like within the week. And I was doing all my futures. Remember, we were putting out all of our prize picks bets and I was getting ready to kind of deploy. As soon as Jordan Walker got announced, I went to the sports book and I just sat there and waited. And I saw Jordan Walker favorite. Corbin Carroll drops from plus 350 to plus 500. Bang.
Dude, he had like an 8-9.
And then 2 days later, they were back to tied. And I was like, I agree. What are the books doing putting Jordan Walker as the favorite? Jordan Walker in the minor leagues had a 136 WRC plus his last year in the minor leagues.
Yeah, Carroll
had a 130 in the major leagues. And he's fast. Like, what are we doing here? And so I got it. I sent it out. I'm like, I'm sitting on plus 500. I'm very happy.
It's awesome. And this is such a cool MVP race, too, because Acuna and Carroll are such similar players, which is
they are. People don't realize that. They are. Carroll can hit the living shit out of baseballs.
Yeah. I mean, he has a better glove, but like Acuna's got a way better arm. But that guy.
Oh, Acuna's and like way better arm. Like Acuna may be the best arm in baseball. Carroll's one of the worst arms in baseball.
I know, but then like Acuna's glove's not too good, and
Carroll's might be. Carroll's an elite center fielder playing left.
Yeah, they have him in center field a couple times. They have Alec Thomas to be center field now.
Yeah, which makes sense because
that's ruthless. They sent Rojas down. D-backs are ruthless, dude. They don't care.
They're trying to win. I mean, Rojas can't hit right now.
He's gonna come back with Jake McCarthy and be a stud.
Well, Jake, we'll let you get back to it. Thank you, my friend. Consistent winners on stream. Let's see what Barrios does today, because the Barrios, this is a big game.
I can see my words. I was trying to talk a little. I can see Barrios actually end up throwing a no-hitter, but we're gonna hopefully Hoeing does the heavy lifting for us tonight.
Could be that. Could be just like Barrios does, in fact, do what everybody's saying, and then Hoeing gives up 9.
1 earned, 4 for. Okay, let's just go something like that. All right, though, Pete.
All right, man.
Go, man. Adios.
Good talking to you, my friend. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the stream. That's the stream. How do we feel? Fearache and hi, Peter. What's going on, my friend? Vlad minus 155 or under a run now. Better to take TB on books. He went down to minus 155. That's horrible. Well, I hate saying that. Let me see, Vlad. I think it's because of the lineup change. He's still up for a run. All right, we'll see. Yeah. Not ideal. We'll see. Just hasn't hit a run in so long. You guys want to raid somebody? Should we raid somebody? Let us know in the chat who you guys want us to raid. Spread the wealth. But again, guys, thank you for listening. Obviously, I've been on a literal horrible streak. The worst of my career. I've been giving out picks ever since April of 2021. Never lost 8 in a row. Mathematically, I was due. I've given out thousands of free plays. It is what it is. We're going to try and win back today. And if we don't win, we'll be back tomorrow because that's the name of the game. And we still built a nice nest egg. I think it's pretty sick. That I'm still up almost 10 units on the year and I've lost 9 units in the past week. It's betting Pete. We good. Try and keep saying you're due, and you are for show. Appreciate you, my friend. Dude is horrible. Let's rock. Let me know who do we want to raid? Anyone we want to raid? Why not us? Fear Aiken. Excellent vibes. Anyone we want to raid? Ref That Bets is live. Should we raid him? Should we raid Little Man? Ref to Bets? Ref? Let's raid Ref. But again, guys, thank you again for listening. We'll be back tomorrow, same time. Make sure download Pikkit. Use code Peter, sync your sportsbook. Code Just Baseball for both Prize Picks and BetMGM. Go get your free money. Say this all the time. We should raid your mother. JK's and get out of here. Get back to work. Let's raid Ref That Bets. Producer Cohen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Just Baseball fans used unraid. We'll get there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's win some bets today. Why not us, all right? We got to remember one thing, though. It's not gambling advice.
It keeps fucking up.
It's messing up. Hold on. One more try. Let's see if we can successfully raid W producer. Tell him it's tough. It's Ref That Bets. We're good.
Right now.
Just don't touch anything.
8 seconds.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. We'll be seeing, all right? Peace out.